Welcome, guys, to the live stream. Today I have a guest from the US, right?
Yeah.
Trey here. And we're going to talk about something that I guess we definitely have a lot in common with, which is overcoming the fear and trauma. I think it's something that it's very relevant for most people that are into the dating scene and want to improve their dating life, and their life in general is the biggest blockage to their own development and to their own progress. So yeah, Trey, maybe introduce yourself a little bit, give a little bit of background story for you.
All right. So what's up, fellas? My name is Trey Morgan, and I'm a men's dating coach. I mainly focus on are shy and introverted, and they want to develop their confidence and their ability to express themselves to women. And the reason why I'm passionate about this, and I've made this like my career basically, or my life, is because I struggled in this area for most of my life. Like I struggled with women, relating to women, and a lot of it was because I couldn't express myself. Right, I wasn't able to communicate my personality and be myself genuinely. And that started in middle school. That's when I became, I guess you could say, I became self-conscious, like in school. And I was afraid to voice my opinion. I was afraid to communicate how I really felt. I would always put up a front, like try to act cool. But when it came to like relating to girls, like girls can they can smell your BS. You know what I mean? So they can smell that you're putting up a front, and I would just like break. I would crumble. I start sweating. I get nervous. I wouldn't know what to say, and it would just end up with them like basically labeling me as like, oh, he's just shy, or he's just quiet, or whatever. And so some girls would show a little interest, but at some point they would lose interest because I wouldn't lead. I wouldn't lead the relationship anywhere. I wouldn't do anything with it. So that was an issue for me throughout middle school, throughout high school. And basically once I got out of high school, I realized that there was just like some internal issue, like some internal blocks, or like some fears, some limiting beliefs. And then also, the idea of like past trauma, like things that have happened in my past that I have maybe had like a negative frame on that I needed to reframe, right? So when I got out of high school, I found out about cold approach pickup. So I started doing that, like going out and approaching girls, talking to girls in the mall, grocery stores, everywhere. And by going through that process, you have to face your fears. You have to face the fear of rejection. You have to face, basically like you're putting yourself in situations where you have to express yourself, where you have to learn how to be genuine, how to be real, how to be vulnerable, and be okay with being vulnerable and it not going your way, right? But you build character. You learn how to not be so dependent on people's validation, and you just learn how to get more into more of a grounded place, where where you can approach a girl. And so basically I just went through that process for a couple of years, and I started.
How old were you? How old were you when you started out?
When I started out and I got out of high school, I was 18.
Yeah, because it's funny because I feel like a lot of guys, they would look at you and they would see like a good looking guy, like no way this guy has trouble with girls, right?
Yeah.
But I figured that more and more I get into this, like I see like very good looking guys and attractive guys like struggling like a lot.
僕と付き合ってください。
ごめんね。
なんでですか？
ごめんね。私は君のことを弟としか思えない。
And there is a lot of beliefs like the guys have about like I'm not good enough with women because of my looks or my whatever, my height or whatever excuse they have. But like once you find a guy that has everything that you thought that would give you the results, and that guy is struggling as well, like you're like, what the fuck? Wait a second, maybe that's not the reason why I struggle, right? So that's funny.
Yeah, that's a very good point, bro. Like I had like a lot of things in my favor. Like I was fit in high as well. I had a lot of things going for me, but I had like these internal limiting beliefs and stuff, and so I was able to, move forward with girls or make anything happen. So yeah, I had to go through a process. Code approach, it allowed me to really explore, like these limiting beliefs and these obstacles that I had, and it allowed me to go out, like, face them. Right, every time you approach a girl, it's like you're facing yourself, basically. Like, she's gonna reflect, her response to you is a reflection of what's going on inside of you, right? And you can either take that responsibility, or you could say, oh no, she was this, or she was, you know what I mean? You could put it on her, or you can say, let me see if there's some things I could work on myself. And I decided to take that approach. Like, I want to work on myself, become as attractive as I can, because I know that if there's other guys that are having good dating life, I can do it too. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I think that's a great distinction, right? Because a lot of guys go out and they think like, okay, I can remain the same, but I just need to learn these tricks to kind of like get girls into liking me, right? But taking that approach the other way around and taking like them as the mirror, and then see like how much of what their feedback is giving you for you to change in yourself internally. I think that's a much more powerful approach, and can change you much. Like in my personal experience, it changed my reality in ways that I don't think anything really could ever change me so fast. Like, I think people get into whatever, like entrepreneurship or public speaking or whatever, but I think this is like the most ruthless and the most like effective way to really come in terms with your bullshit. Your own bullshit.
100%, bro. So yeah, that's why I believe in it so much, because like I built a lot of my character and became the man that I am through approaching women, right? Like, I started doing it because I wanted to get a girlfriend or whatever, or get my dating life going. But I realized it was more about building your character. It was more about overcoming your fears, peeling off these like
Layer.
layers,
Yeah.
like things that are not really you, you know what I mean? And get into that core of who you are. And then from there, you can get creative. You can start, then I started working on my style, got my eyebrow pierced. You start, adding different things to like make yourself, more unique. But that core is there. Like, once that core is there, then you can do whatever you want to do. So that's like the key thing, is getting to a point where you feel comfortable in your skin. You feel secure, and you don't need like a woman. Like, yeah, you want women. Like, if you're a healthy man, of course you want women, but you don't need them because you feel good.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're confident, and you want to share that with the woman, as opposed to you trying to take something from her, right?
Yeah, I think that having that approach of transforming yourself and focusing in your own process, on your own transformation, instead of focusing on the outcomes, it's something that a lot of people get lost in, because a lot of guys get lost in because of like short gratification, and we're so used to want things so fast that we kind of lose ourselves in that wanting and needing the things to work out as we think they should, as fast as possible. But once you stop doing that and you start just taking it as a process and not like some destination, right? Then you can really excel your progress, and then you will get the results that you wanted. Like, once you become that guy that naturally attracts those situations into their life, those women into their life, not just to by acting as a persona, but becoming that person. I think that's the biggest distinction that I love to make. Is like, you want to be that person, not put on a front and act all cool, but deep down inside you're like all a mess.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's cold approach pickup. There's different ways to meet women, and you can do online dating, you can do these different things. But the value I saw in cold approach pickup, me personally, was that it's very like raw, and just like you're just putting yourself out there. This is me 100%, and you're just going at it. Whereas maybe other ways you can kind of like hide a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, but with cold approach, you can't hide. It's like, it's you, it's the girl in this situation, and it just is what it is. You know what I mean? So it builds a lot of character, and it allowed me to basically prove to myself that I can handle life. You know what I mean? And once you just like start building up these different like qualities and strengthening yourself as a man, you know, attracting women becomes like a natural thing, which is what it should be. It shouldn't be this hard thing that you got to learn all these techniques, this tactic. That it's cool to have those so you can kind of have fun with it and you know what you're doing, but you shouldn't have to like depend on it. You know what I mean? You want to get to a point where you could just literally just be yourself, and that will actually like create attraction and make certain girls come your way.
Yeah, I think that's the I was having just a call now and talking about that, is that like a lot of your fears, a lot of your hidden insecurities, they regularly don't get exposed into like reality, right? Because we kind of live in our own bubble, and so we kind of have like these filtering, distorted perceptions on ourselves and the world, but we don't have anybody that gives us like the raw real feedback that we need to have to get, you know, because people are polite, and always, even if they do see that you have all this bullshit you're telling yourself, they most likely will not call it out on you that you're just bullshitting yourself. But the good thing about approaching a stranger is that they don't give a fuck about you, and they will give you the exact feedback that you need. And so it's so powerful to get that chance to actually like get that feedback. And like, if you approach 30 women, you get 30 real genuine feedback from them on what even if they are polite to you, even if they like nice to you, then they give you the pity number, but they don't respond back, and you feel the pain. It's like, fuck, why is she not responding? And then you just feel like, I have to fucking change it. And then it forces you to change the behavior. It forces you to change everything about yourself so you can actually have some results and make it work. So it's like, it's such a powerful tool for transforming yourself, you know?
Yeah. So basically, bro, I just got to a point where I just committed to the process of becoming a better version of myself, and I guess you could say I used cola up to do that. And man, it just led to me like all the goals that I had, I basically achieved them. You know, like getting a girlfriend, I got that. I didn't lose my virginity in high school. I lost it like at 24, so like a couple years after, but I lost it through cold approach pickup, you know. So it wasn't like luck. I had to earn it. I had to make it happen. And yeah, man. And then, you know, I went from there. I started like, you know, pulling. I like to approach girls in the day, but I also do night game too. So I go to clubs and I pull girls from the clubs and just have all these amazing experiences. And then, you know, now where I'm at with it is like, now I'm in, you know, I like the idea of just having a rotation of women that you're seeing, and, you know, just deciding where you want to go with that. Like, you know, if there's one that you want to get serious with, you could do that, or you can just see these women. But a lot of my energy is just going into my purpose, my passion, you know, like that's like the main thing. And for me, it's helping guys who are on that other side of the spectrum, or maybe in the middle, where they're like just struggling, or they're struggling to relate to women. They just don't understand how to make that part of their life work. And so once you went through that process yourself, and you've seen all the things that you have to go through and all that, you can relate to those guys and sort of you know, tell them, okay, nah, man, you could do this. You can hit your goals. You know, you just have to commit to the process. You got to see it positively. You know, have the right frame, you know, on it. Like, you know, see the bigger picture of why you're doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Not, the biggest one, not give up. And yeah, man, you know, I believe any man that wants to handle dating life, he can, if he goes about it the right way.
I think that's a big difference that I personally experienced in my own journey, is that you have something bigger than just getting some sex, you know, like your purpose in this journey is not like just getting a girlfriend or getting some sex, some one night stand. It's like you gotta look at what is your biggest purpose, and having a bigger purpose than just women and even yourself. So it's so much easier. Like when guys talk about boundaries and like all this stuff. Like once you have that gravitational pull towards something bigger, like whenever some bullshit comes on the way, whenever women give you shit, you're not gonna handle that. You're not gonna take that, you know, because your eyes are on a bigger target than that. But once a guy get lost in women, just women, or just pursuing women, and that's the only goal they have, then it's so easy to get caught up in like this fear of losing the girl, or all this shit, and not having boundaries, because it's like you don't have anything bigger to go for. That's all you're playing. And I think that's something that I teach my students as well, is like, women shouldn't be your purpose. If women are your purpose, first of all, you're not probably going to get good at it, and it's not going to work out for you, because you even might get a girlfriend from that, but then you're going to do like most guys do, which is settling in with that girlfriend, and then like some months or year or whatever passed by, and then he becomes like a shell beta male version of himself, and then she drops him, and then she's back into ground below zero, and then he has to rebuild himself all over again. So it's just guys go through this process over and over again until they learn that that's not their purpose. The relationship is not their purpose. The relationship is just a temporary thing. Can be long term, but it's not. You shouldn't be like trying to control and having this relationship. That's a woman's purpose, right? The woman wants to control the wild man, right? But not like you trying to secure a woman or whatever, you know. That's not masculine. That's not what, at least, that masculine energy wants. The masculine energy wants freedom, wants to be free, wants to have a bigger purpose, wants to raise his consciousness, all this higher stuff, not just being a mediocre guy with some and ending up with just an average girl that was a little bit better than he's used to get, so he's just settled with that, you know.
Yeah, 100%, bro. I agree, man. Like, when you know your purpose, and you go after your purpose and you focus on that, you know, there are women that are gonna like be around. Like, just you putting that energy into your purpose, like, you're gonna run into men, women, different people, and some of those women are gonna be into what you're doing. Like, whoa, this guy is like doing something in life. You know what I mean? He's making a difference. You know, he's going after his goals. He doesn't really need me. He's just doing his thing. But like, I want to be a part of that. You know, I want to, like, you know what I mean, contribute or whatever. Like, and that could be like one of the most attractive things about you, is literally just the fact that you're on your purpose, right? Like, that could be like the biggest thing. But then the thing is, if you're on your purpose and then you do get this girl, and then now you stop focusing on your purpose, start putting your energy into her, now she's gonna start like losing attraction for you, and then that's when she starts testing you and challenging you, and then she, you
Walk
know,
over you, basically.
yeah, like I said, that masculine alpha energy that you had, it starts to turn into beta energy, and then, you know, all of a sudden now, you, whatever your purpose was, you might even forget about it or whatever, and then your life just starts to, like, you know, crumble basically, and it was because you got off your purpose. So like, that's one of the key things as a man. You want to know, like, what is my, like, my what am I doing here? What am I doing on this planet? Like, how am I going to make a difference? How am I going to benefit others? And you know, women will want to be a part of that, but they don't want you to change your purpose from what it was to her, because you going after your purpose is what attracted her in the first place. So you don't want to change that and start focusing on her. You know, you keep doing that. If anything, you amplify it. Now she's gonna be more attracted. Like, whoa, he's so focused, he's so driven. You know, so that's kind of how I see it. And I noticed, like, I've done both, so I've seen what happens when you get off your purpose. Like, I was in a relationship with a girl, and I was building a business at the time, and it was actually doing pretty well. And when I got with her, you know, I was like, I liked her so much or whatever, and she was like pretty needy or whatever. So I would like stop focusing on my business to be there for her all the time, right? And it was cool in the beginning, like, oh yeah, he's all about me. But then after a while, like, I saw like her behavior started changing. Like, she started to not be as into me as much, you know, maybe not as cuddly, not as whatever, you know, not wanting to have sex as much. And I'm like, what's going on here? I'm putting all my time into her and giving her everything she wants. But that energy that I had going after my purpose, like that energy's gone now. It's going all in. She's not feeling the vibe. She's not feeling the emotions no more. And she's like, something is off here. Right. And she may logically, maybe she may put it in other words like, oh, I'm just not attracted to you anymore. I don't like you anymore. But really what it is, your energy change. You
like you want like the woman wants a guy that is expanding, that is evolving, right? And our mind, though, the mind wants to control and wants to hold on to things, right? So this is the problem with a lot of guys. They listen to what she's saying, but she's talking her mind, but what her deepest self or the highest self wants, their soul, let's say, wants, is that they want a guy that is going, and he wants the guy wants to take them with them in their journey, right? That's what they want, but their mind wants to know, to be certain that the guy is not going to leave her and whatever, this stuff, right? When she speaks, she's speaking about her fear of losing you, right? But when the guy just listens to that and just with the logical mind and tries to understand her through that way, then so when the problems come, because it's not about logic when it comes to these connections and relationships. It's not logic. It's not the mind that it's at stake. The mind just wants to control everything, but you don't want to listen to the mind, because that's not what attracts the woman in the first place, who was not logically. If she wasn't logically attracted to you, then she'll be like, okay, you guys has money and whatever can support my financial life or whatever, and that wouldn't be, she wouldn't be attracted for you, for your energy, for your soul. She would be attracted for your resources or whatever. So you don't want that kind of woman anyways. So you just want to listen to your higher purpose, your higher self, what he wants. And then if a woman it's supposed to be in your life, doesn't mean she will always be in your life, because sometimes if you keep evolving and she doesn't want to, just the natural separating will naturally happen. Just you have to just kind of accept that if she doesn't want to keep going, I mean, you won't be held back by her. And I think that's a much more powerful way to look, because then if you're willing to walk away, and if you are always prioritizing your vision instead of the woman, then she doesn't have much choices. She either supports you or she leaves. She doesn't have a third choice. You know? It's fucking, yeah. Nice conversation, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So
maybe we could talk about like I think another thing about approaching women, about overcoming your traumas. I think with that said, like when you do approach a lot of women, in my experience, like you get triggered a lot. You get all kinds of traumas, all kinds of fear of being rejected and not being approved of, and all kinds of things come up in your experience. Like you feel all this stuff coming up when you go into the motions of going out and approaching. You feel all kinds of fear, uncertainty, all this stuff. And I always found that very powerful, to if you are able to use both, if you are able to like kind of put yourself in those situations that trigger you, and then you can heal whatever got triggered. That's a supercharged way of really healing yourself and your traumas, you know.
No doubt. Bro, have you shared your story to the community? Because I mean, I obviously I know you, like, you know your stuff and you're good with what you do, but I actually don't know how you got into the community and what your story was. So you mind sharing it?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I shared this before in the past, but I can do it like a short version. Basically, like I was like a very hard case, what they call a hard case. I was like that. I was a guy that throughout school was bullied. Every school I went through, I didn't have any girls interested in me almost ever, or at least I didn't see that really. And so I was really like closed off to the world. And once that I was around 16, I found about video games, and like my parents offered me a PlayStation. That really was like my escape. I found an escape to life. And though I spent like 7 years just like wasting my life and just playing Call of Duty for like 10 hours a day every day, and just like and just that's where I felt the most free, was when I had my headsets on and I just talk shit on the headphones. That's when I felt free. When I was going out there in the real world, like I was feeling terrified, afraid of what people think of me. Every like all like scanning and seeing like, oh, is those people laughing at me or whatever? It's always like this paranoia in my head. You know, I was paranoid, and so I was really like afraid of everything. I was afraid of my own shadow, so to say. And so yeah, for me to come to this bottom line of being like really in the rock bottom and be like, fuck, what I've done. I was 23. I don't even have any more guys to play online with me. I'm just such a dark like dark hole, you know. I'm such in a dark place that nobody wants to hang out with me anymore. And so I got to this point where I just got really frustrated and like hated myself for whatever I've done so far. And so I just decided that I had to do something about it. And I started going out, like working out, losing some fat because I was quite fat at the time, and just talking with strangers, like asking directions and shit, because I was so terrified of like talking to a girl. It was so outside of my reality that I just started by asking old ladies, like the most unthreatening lady that I could find. I would go and like ask her like the time or some shit like that. And so for like 2 or 3 months, I just go around my small town. Like at some point, I already knew, since I was just walking around and like asking those questions to them for months. And yeah, eventually I just like got a lot of momentum from talking with strangers. I got a little bit more confident and and then one day I remember like there was this girl across the street, and then I just something, I was just like got the balls to go up to her, and she laughs at whatever I said. I'm like, what the fuck? That was like so mind blowing to me. And yeah, from there on I just got hooked with that sense of freedom and like do what the fuck I want and talk the way I want, and just like I just got hooked, and it just got like a snowball down the hill, you know, and just keeps going, just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And so yeah, I just kept challenging myself every day and completely transform myself. And eventually I start like organizing like public speaking events in Lisbon, and like having a big community, creating a big community of guys that want to be better. And yeah, found some mentors, got the sexual experience that I was looking for, and probably way more than I ever thought possible. And yeah, man, there was something within me that I was like, that was still, at some point I was still lacking something, like I wasn't satisfied. And so that got me into spirituality as well, because I found that that wasn't the fulfillment that I was looking for in having sex wasn't really fulfilling. It was kind of an illusion that I created to myself. And so that's why I'm now bringing more the spiritual side of things to dating, because I think that can be very powerful to merge both and bring this holistic perspective into dating. And really, dating is not really just about women. It's really about influencing the lives of the people that you come in contact with, and really being the man and the leader that you know you were born to be. And so that's what I want to teach men how to be the leaders that they were meant to be. So that's what I'm here for. That's my purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, bro, I could really relate to your story, man. That's probably
Yeah.
why, because you know, even when you brought up the video games, I forgot about that part. Like that was an escape for me too. Like I would go to the video game to play. I used to play. At the time, I was good at like I used to like WWE, like wrestling games. I used to play that, and I used to like
Yeah.
NBA 2K, and I used to be so good because I put so much hours. Like I was known around the neighborhood for being so good, and like back like all that time and energy, man. Imagine if I put that into like whether it was pickup or just reading books or study, you know, like man. But I mean, I have no regrets, man. Like that was part of the journey, and you learn from everything that happens. But
You
I
did.
did
You
relate to you on that, and then you just deciding like yo, enough is enough. and then you started approaching the old ladies thing. I remember doing that too, going up to old ladies, asking for the time too. Like, you would think I would be able to just jump right in, but man, I had to go to the old ladies too, man. You know, start off somewhere. You know what I mean? At first, I try to go straight for the attractive girls, but like that's too much to keep that up consistently. You know, so I was like, yo, it's better to just work your way up.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's the biggest lesson because a lot of guys they expect too much, and then because they are not able to do it, they beat themselves up and they give up. They
yeah,
don't see like they don't try to play the big picture or the long term. They kind of get caught up in like, oh, I should be able to do this to approach a woman right away and all this that, and then when they are not able to do it, they're not able to be more honest with themselves to kind of tone it down and like, okay, I can't do this. Let me do easier challenges at least to get some momentum, right? I think a lot of guys struggle with this because if like that's what I realized. Like once you get that ball rolling, like what are you doing? Like as long as I'm really challenging myself every day and trying to do 1% better than I was doing the day before, you like in a year you'll be in a place that you never thought that you would be just by doing that. And people they want like instead of 1% they want like to do 50% better or 100% better, but that's not just realistic. Like not everybody's gonna be able to go through, especially by yourself. Like I don't know about you, but like I was by myself. Like I was so terrified. Like when you're by yourself there is so much more excuses, so much more rationalizations in your mind that if you are not able to be humble about it, like no way you're gonna get out of the place you're in. Like you're just gonna beat yourself up and just end up keeping yourself stuck where you at, you know.
So what? I'm curious, bro. What triggered it for you, or when did you find out that I can go out and approach girls? Like, did you see something online or come across a book or something?
Yeah, I mean, I was at the time I was like watching prank videos or whatever, and I just came across some. I think it was Fearless Man's YouTube.
The idea is that you can use tension to your advantage, that you can actually stop talking in the middle of a good conversation and just kind of sit there and relax, enjoy the band, and let her open you.
I was like, oh yeah, why not do that? And like I remember you would tell me things. You would tell things like, oh yeah, like go up to someone, say excuse me, and then just stay silent and just stare at them, and just all that. It just like take that pressure on yourself, you know, and that tension, and then when I was doing this, I purposefully did that, and I was getting more grounded. Like I was like, oh, now I don't feel so shaky because at first I was just shaking inside, right? And then once I just start creating more tension with people and when holding more tension, I just saw that now it was getting easier and easier to be in that tension, in that silence. I think that's what a lot of guys should practice because a lot of guys talk too much and are able to hold that silence and eye contact. You know that's where the attraction is created. It's not like in the words. It's just like when you smirk and you just stare at her and then just like create that. She's like, oh my god, you know. She's all cringe and shit. But that's where really they gets that attraction. And yeah, like yeah, that's pretty much how I got into this, like watching some YouTube. And that's the great thing about internet. Like now, like we are so lucky, right? Like our grandparents didn't have the luck to like find out about fucking can approach women and change yourself. We are so fucking. We should be appreciated of the great things that internet allowed us to do, really, because it saved my life, really. If I didn't have access, no way I could change it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, man. And yeah, that's interesting that you came across. You said the Fearless Man.
Yeah.
Like too much of his stuff. I didn't see too much of his stuff throughout my journey, but recently, one of my friends who's also into pickup, he kind of showed me his book, the Fearless Man book or something like that. He has like a book, and he kind of goes into some of his concepts. And yeah, I actually like what he says about like focusing on being able to handle tension, right? I like when he talks about it, and also like being grounded, because without me really knowing, a lot of my pickup journey was a lot of that, because I saw the little like tactics and stuff you could do, but I was never into that. I was always into more about just being able to express myself freely, right? And I didn't really on my journey, I didn't really find anyone that was teaching that. I was more so running into the people who were just teaching, this is what you say, this is what you do, or whatever. And I would use some of that, but a lot of I just knew that the inner game was where it was at, right? The outer stuff is great and you should have it, but I knew it was the inner stuff. So after reading that book, I see a lot of what I developed is my ability to handle tension, right? Handle tension in different situations, whether it's like doing a call like this. Like this is actually like, for a lot of people, is like doing a live call is like a very high tension thing for them, right? But me doing a bunch of like live calls, me doing a ton of approaches, me walking up to a girl and freezing, and having that experience of just freezing in front of a girl and like getting super embarrassed, but knowing that, nothing that bad happens. You get embarrassed and then she goes about her day and you go about your day. It's okay, like nothing, there's really not really too much that there's nothing we can't handle, really, like, especially in the context of with women, like the worst that can happen is her saying, I have a boyfriend, or walking away. Like it's not that serious, but in order to really like develop that confidence and that understanding, you do have to like just like go through the process, like really go and do it and get these experiences for yourself. So you'll have this, you'll internalize it, right? So then it becomes a part of you, and you don't have to be in your head all the time about stuff. You can kind of just be free and just just enjoy life.
Yeah, I think that's something that really later on in my journey that I realized that what was the thing that was holding me back for not able to handle this tension, or even like on the camera or whatever, is that actually I have a lot of shit and unchecked shit within myself that is like coming up in those moments and getting triggered. But once you start like healing yourself, a lot of these situations that you were so once terrified by, they look like as normal as like whatever, dude. Just like eating some food at by yourself. Like you get to a point where it's like being here on a live stream is the same thing for me as being by myself in my kitchen and just nobody's there to watch me. There's no difference. But that's why healing your trauma is so important, because once you, like, a lot of people think that public speaking and being able to do this is about practice and like repetition, but a lot of it is just really healing your own trauma. Because once you're not triggered in these situations, because there's nothing to be triggered of, right? Like you're not gonna die. Like when the trigger is completely out, like disproportionate to reality, that means there is something within you that is not, that's not part of you, that is happening, right? And so when you see that and you don't freak out, or you don't try to resist those sensations, those triggers, and you actually allow them to do their own thing and heal every time more and more. Once you do that over time, like you will be very calm to talk in a public, in to an audience or do a live stream, and you won't see like it's like this big thing that you need to be very good at. You cannot fuck up, like there is not this sense of like, oh, I think like the biggest thing is confidence. Like when you're really confident, you don't worry about being confident. That's what confidence really is. It's not even confidence, it's just that you don't think about what is confident, what is non-confident. You just are. And that's where I want to take people that work with me. It's like you don't need to keep push. There is a period where you need to push yourself, but then there is a period where you need to heal, so that you can habituate yourself to be just like that no matter what. And you don't need to always have this sense of effort. Should be effortless, should be just organic, just be normal.
So from your experience, bro, what would you say is like maybe the best way, or some of the best ways to handle or heal past trauma, like from your experience?
Yeah, I think for like my experience was that when I was going about approaching, I wasn't aware of the trauma, especially in the beginning. And so a lot of what I experienced was a lot of resistance, a lot of inner struggle, right? A lot of this kind of mesh of things going on, emotions going on in your body. And I wasn't aware of it, but now that I'm aware of it and I can pass on to the people that I work with that are maybe not there yet, I can see that you can really use the approaches, for example, or whenever you get triggered, use those moments to really like feel, instead of escaping whatever you're feeling, instead of trying to numb yourself or find some other form of escapism like everybody does, like looking at their phone or going to the computer or watching porn or whatever they do. Is like, just feel into whatever it got triggered. Just feel it completely. Let it do its thing without trying to change it or without trying to run away from it. And once you're allowed that, all that heavy energy that you were experiencing will eventually turn into light, more light energy. Like you will transform or morph into becoming lighter and lighter and less dense and less contracted and less fearful and more expansive, you know?
Yeah, bro, I definitely agree with you and relate to that. And when you said earlier, you said that you used to see the prank videos. I thought those videos were really cool because they kind of showed you like what life is like when you're socially free, when you're able to do anything. Like you can have so much more fun in life when you can just be yourself, basically. You know, just be yourself and not have to worry about, oh, I have to look cool, or oh, I have to be this way, or I have to fit into this way of being. And you know, you can just exist and you can handle anything in the environment. If somebody challenges you, you know, you're not gonna like it's not gonna trigger you in a way where you get angry or anything. You can just like hear their point of view and say, oh, okay, I see where you're coming from. You know, I don't necessarily agree, but you know, you have your opinion, I have mine. That's great. You know, you just become so much more relaxed and nothing's a big deal. You know what I mean? Like you realize that everyone has their own perspectives in life, their own experiences, right? And you can learn from people that if you're open to listen and not get so, you know what I mean? Like, oh no, you're wrong, and you know what I mean? Like, so yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. Is like people have to, because usually what people do, from my experience, that they find someone, like even the people that want to learn this stuff, they find someone they resonate with, and then they just listen to that person, and then they think everybody else is wrong. They kind of like, okay, this person, like I can connect with this person. Like I feel like I could be like this person, so let me just follow this person, and then kind of go against everybody else. But it's like, okay, you can do that for a while, but at some point you should be able to like see different kinds of people, different kinds of teachers, different kind of coaches, and then see, okay, what about this guy that I can learn, that can apply in my own style, you know? And then you become much more versatile because you can apply so many different ways of doing things from so many different people and kind of create your own masterpiece, you know? And yeah, I mean, that's really where it gives you a lot of freedom, when you're able to learn, not because there is a sense of like the human ego wants to feel either superior to someone, right? It's like to feel superior, or is afraid of someone that puts on a pedestal and feels inferior. But in the end of the day, if you're able to put yourself, like level yourself up with everybody else, like doesn't matter who the fuck it is, it's just a human. It's not like some god person, right? Then you can learn from like a homeless person. I can learn from a CEO. I can learn from everybody, and you become like this. In my experience, like a sponge of learning. Like you just learn from everything. You just become a machine of learning, and that's when your progress, your growth, really skyrockets. From my perspective.
I agree 100%, bro. Did you have to overcome like beliefs from a religion? Were you grown up in a religion or no?
Yeah, I would grow up in like Christian religion. I used to go to church with my grandma and shit. But actually, that's interesting that you asked that, because what I feel like was that at the time I was such in a place where I was like, okay, I suck, right? I'm not gonna even consider whatever I believe right now because it doesn't fucking matter. And then I really immersed myself at the start. I immersed myself watching people that I want to be like. I think that's something like that really helped me, because I was still living with my parents, and people that reinforced my old reality, my old way of being. And so if you want to change, you kind of, for a while, you have to separate yourself from these people that were part of your reality when you were that person, because otherwise they will reinforce more and more that for you and kind of like drag you back to their level. So you kind of have to separate for a while yourself, and that's what I did. I just isolated myself, watching like videos, like long videos. I remember RST Tyler, he had like some 4-hour videos about the truth about success and stuff like that. So I just watched that throughout my whole night, and after a while my brain starts rewiring and starts like becoming more like him, even if he's on the screen. That's the thing, like you don't need a mentor like one-on-one or in person to actually be mentored by someone. With the internet you can be mentored by anybody you want. You just go watch their content and understand the way they think, the way they act, everything about them, and you start implementing that, and you start having the same results that that person has. Like it's not rocket science, you know. Like uh in the end of the day, like we are all the same and we all have that potential to be great, as long as we apply ourselves to whatever we want to excel at, and we can do it. There's no one that is inferior and it cannot do it because of whatever reason they have limitations that they imposed on themselves, you know.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. Yeah, you touched on something I thought was very valuable too. Is the understanding that when you're one way or living a certain way for a certain period of time, you have certain beliefs that support you for that period of time, right? Not all those beliefs are necessarily bad, but if you want to achieve something different, or change your condition, you have to change your beliefs. Like that's like a big thing people need to understand, is that stop resisting the idea of changing. Like you have to like realize like life is about change. Life is about evolving. Life is about improving. Life is about, what I mean, seeing things differently, maturing, you know what I mean? So in order to do that though, you have to be willing to say, you know what, my past is my past. I enjoyed it, but now I'm moving on, and I'm getting these new beliefs. I'm seeing things differently. I'm having these new perspectives. The way a lot of the interests I had before, the values, the beliefs, the principles I had before, like a lot of them are like completely opposite of that now. You know what I mean? And it wasn't it's not easy to do that. It's not easy to drop your old beliefs that were supporting you for so long, that are so ingrained in you. But if you have a goal or like a vision, and you want to achieve your goal, your vision, you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary to make it happen. And so one of those things is changing. Those old beliefs, you have to change them. You have to be open-minded. Listen when people are telling you different things. Maybe you don't like what they're saying, but maybe they're telling you the truth. And if you're not gonna listen to it and at least like look at it and say, oh, maybe they have saying something there, then you're just gonna stay the same. You're gonna keep attracting the same bullshit over and over, and it's gonna become more miserable. So you have to be willing to change. That's
Yeah, I think that's a great, like that's what I seen. A lot of people, they do want to change, but they don't want to let go of their current way of being. Like they want better results, but at the same time they want to remain the same. And I think that's the big distinction, is that the people that do actually achieve that is that they completely burn the boats. Like they don't give themselves a way back to their old way. They just like, okay, I'm not gonna be like that anymore. I'm just gonna move on. And people struggle with that because there is like that, like you said, attachment to those identities, because that made who you are for whatever years, 20, 30 years of your life. And so there is a lot of sense of like, okay, but like this helped me survive, like why should I drop everything right now? Like they helped me so far to be alive, right? But yeah, it's in a sense, that's what it's necessary to really have that like long-term deep transformation that we want, because we don't want to just transform a bit, we want the whole thing, we want everything, we want to become. And that's what the desire is for. We all have desire, right? We all desire something, we always desire more and more, but we don't, but yeah, we desire to be more, really.
yeah. And if you do more, then you have to be willing to do more, something differently. that you can't do the same things, think the same way, believe the same things, and create or attract something different, right? If you want to attract a certain type of girl, you have to take on whatever necessary beliefs or way of being, or you know what I mean, or ways of expressing yourself that will attract that girl, right? If you're not attracting her right now, that means something has to change, obviously. You know, it doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It just means maybe you have room for improvement, or maybe there's certain things you need to understand or certain things you need to learn. Like, see it as fun, see it as a challenge, see it as, okay, this is what I gotta do. All right, I'm gonna make it happen. You know, like it could be a fun challenge, like a video game in real life, basically, right? If a video game has no challenge, it's no fun. So same thing in life, man.
Yeah, you have to change like a lot of people don't understand that. It's like we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are, what we kind of emanating out. Like we bring that energy into our own life. So if you are a victim, and if you are always feeling that life is against you, that's what life will give you more. You know, that's what you're attracting. That's what you're calling upon to be given to you. So if you want something more, you have to have different kind of ways of looking at the world and seeing the world instead of some place, dark place where things are against you. Seeing the world as like a bunch of opportunities, possibilities to grow, to learn more, and to be more.
Yeah, man.
I think this was the moment to cut off. You know, like I think this like was pretty good, man. I really enjoyed our talk.
Oh yeah, bro. I mean, if I would leave like one last thing, I would just say, like, for me is as a man, you want to like get down to like, what do I want? You know what I mean? Like, write your goals down, write down exactly what you want. Don't filter it. Don't tell yourself I can't do it. Like, write it down exactly what you want. Like, brain dump it on a piece of paper, everything you want, and then look at those ones that really stand out. Right? Look at those ones that really stand out, and then like circle them or put a star next to them and say, you know what? I'm going after this, right? And then ask yourself, okay, what can I do? How can what? Start from where you are. What can I do right now, given the resources I have right now? What can I do to make that happen, right? And then if you need help, you go and seek help. Look online, find people that have already achieved the result, or if have friends or people who are can help you. Ask them, but just know what you want and go after it. Take action, and you'll learn along the way how to hit. You know what I mean?
I think that's a big point you touched there, is that someone that wants something, like if you really want it badly, you will find a way to make it happen.
Exactly.
Like no matter what's your circumstances, what's the resources you have right now, if you want it bad enough, you will, like, if your life depended on it, you would find a way. You only allow yourself to give excuses to yourself because you feel like you have this sense of like you have time, and maybe tomorrow, and my life is gonna be forever. But that's bullshit. Like, this is an illusion. Your life fucking depends on it. You should see that. Like, a lot of people take it very lightly. Like, oh, it's just like, oh, it's just self-development. Like, I can do that. I can watch Netflix today, and tomorrow maybe I can do some approaches. Like, it's not that way. You never change. Like, you gotta like see it as like it's your life that is depending. It's either you do it or you die trying. Like, and that's what I did. It's like I was in a small town. I was a fucking shy guy that didn't talk to anybody. And I was like, okay, there is like, I could make an excuse. There is not girls in the street because it's a small town. But I was like, fuck it. Like, not girls in the street. Like, I'll find them. I'll walk around for hours if I have to fucking find the girls I have to approach. Like, and that's the kind of mentality that allow you to go through the hard times. I think that's something that I'm realizing, that I was talking with some clients, is that what makes a difference is not when things go well to you in your journey. It's like, how resilient are you when shit hits the fan, when you feel like shit, where you're not motivated, when you feel like you're gonna give up. That's what defines people that are successful. Is like they keep going no matter fucking what. It's raining. It's there. Like, I used to approach girls when my leg was like tagged and I was limping and I was walking down the street. Like, this was when I started out. I had like an injury in the gym, and my leg was like fucked, and the doctor was like, oh, you can't walk for weeks now. You have to rest the leg. I was like, yo, man, you know what I'm doing? Fuck you. I'm gonna fucking go anyways. And I just like at the tag, and I just go and approach girls with a limping leg or whatever. And I did the half marathon with my limping leg because I didn't want to give up my half marathon as well. So I was willing to go all the way, and nothing would stop me. And that's the kind of mentality you gotta put into this. Like nothing can stop you.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Shit, man. I'm inspired just from hearing that story, bro. I think we just gotta end it on that, bro. Like your leg is, your leg is just done for. You're like, yo, I don't care, man.
I don't give a fuck, man. My life is depending on it. Like I am gonna save myself. That's the way I was thinking. It's like no fucking way. Even if I lose my leg, I'm not gonna lose my own fucking respect for myself. That's what I was thinking. It's like fuck that.
Thanks, bro. Thanks. I appreciate you having me though, bro. Appreciate.
Same, bro. It was really fucking cool. Yeah, guys, there's 2 guys watching, so if you guys have any questions for us before we finish off, let us know in the comments. A guy wrote, good talk, guys. Thanks, man. If you have any questions, specific questions for your own current situation that you want to share with us, let us know in the next couple of minutes. Otherwise, we're going to finish off. Yeah, Trey, maybe if you want to as well, like write a little bit like in the group, make a post like talking about yourself, what you want to do and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're open for that in the group. And yeah, man, keep bringing the value and keep pimping.
Sure, for sure.
I guess the guys are shy. They don't want to ask any questions. Oh, wait. The limping leg story again. I missed it. Someone came at my door, lol. What? Oh, okay. The limping. Yeah, so basically, like, I was going to the gym. I was practicing to this half marathon. And I was, like, doing some leg press work. And then I just feel the pain inside of my thigh. And I was like, what the fuck happened? And then I can see that I cannot put the feet on the floor because I was, like, feeling pain in my legs. So I went to the doctor. And the guy's like, oh, you got to stop for a month or whatever. And my half marathon was like a week after that. So I have been practicing for months, running 10 kilometers every day or 20 kilometers every day to go to this half marathon. And now the doctor is telling me like I have to give up all of that and like sit down at home and be like recovering my leg. And then I just like, fuck that. I'm not gonna do that. I told my parents like, fuck, if I lose my leg, cool. But I just like went for it anyways. I did the half marathon and I did my best time with my leg fucked. So it's like what, like that showed me like how much powerful is the human will. If you want it bad enough, doesn't matter what happened to your leg. If you don't have fingers or whatever, you just make it happen anyways. And after the marathon, my leg was still fucked, but I still went out and dragged my leg around to approach girls. And I approached girls with dragging my leg. It took me like 5 months to recover the leg, but I didn't stop the momentum of approaching. So I won, not the fucking leg.
Oh yeah, bro. That's you just gotta respect that. When you hear stories like that, man, it's like, and it makes you look at like whatever little
limitations. Yeah. Whatever limitations you think you have, right?
Yeah. Like, how people will complain about little small things like, oh, I have a headache, or, like little stuff like that. And then you hear a story of somebody like basically with one leg, like, you know what I mean? Like overcoming, doing everything they still need to do. You know what I mean? Like still approaching, still running the marathon. You know what I mean? Like that's lit, man. When I hear that, like, it's just like, yo, of course I'm not, I can't make any excuses, man. Like just that story or any other stories. I like the, I don't know if you read Chicken Soup for the Soul, whatever. They have a lot of stories like that in there, like overcoming, like, whether it's cancer or, you know what I mean, or losing an arm or whatever it is. Like you hear these stories of people overcoming their challenges no matter what, and it's like, You know, if they're making it happen, then what's my excuse? You know?
Yeah, it's like, you know, David Goggins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was like doing like he did like the SEAL training with broken legs, dude. That guy is fucking lit, you know, and he passed it easily.
Exactly.
It shows how much powerful is the mindset. Like, it's not your limitations that stop you; it's your mindset. Your fucking mind has to be on point. If it's on point, doesn't matter what it is that it's in your way, what kind of blockages and kind of obstacles you have. You just gotta go around them and above them and below them. Doesn't matter. Just find a way to make it happen, no matter what.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
Cool, man. So we can finish. Yeah. Facebook user, do you have any questions? You said you missed the story of the leg. You have any questions for us about your current situation? Maybe we can give you some advice on that or some guidance. If not, we can probably finish the stream. I think was very good.
Hell yeah.
I think people, if they do listen to this, they definitely can take a lot of things for their life.
No doubt.
And to put in perspective, you know, like even now in COVID, it doesn't matter the COVID, whatever it is. Like people that are hungry and want it, they will do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we can finish. It was a pleasure to have you, and I think we should definitely have some more in the future.
Yeah.
And
No,
definitely some other, maybe like a podcast or something like that. Wait, someone asked a question. To heal trauma. Wait, let me. Okay. Can you see it when I shared it?
yeah, I could see it. Kinda. Yeah.
Well, to heal trauma, just feel in the moment, or do you also recommend meditation after you're triggered? Well, I think that's the thing a lot of people don't understand about meditation. Meditation is not something that you have to sit down and do. Meditation is just being aware of what is right now and being that awareness of what's happening right now. And as long as you do that, you don't really need to sit down and meditate. You can just, whenever you're triggered, just bring the awareness into it, just completely experience everything, the trigger. And doesn't mean that the trigger will go away right away. Like you can take a while, and even if you do heal that trigger, it might get triggered again in the future. But the key point is that you will get, if you do this properly, you will get less and less triggered over time, and you less more relaxed and grounded and less reactive to the situations around you and whatever happens to you in your life. Basically. So yeah, I mean, meditation is just something you can do wherever you are. You don't need to close your eyes. You can just do it with your eyes open and just accept whatever you're feeling and not try to resist whatever you're feeling or escape it. Just sit with it, you know? Just sit with it and let it be. Yeah, man. Yeah, that was fucking nice.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, bro. Let's finish here. And yeah, let's do it somewhere the next weeks. Let's do another one, or if you're up for that.
Yeah, let's do it, bro. Sounds good, man. Thanks y'all for watching, man. Appreciate y'all, and thank you, bro, for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
All
See you.